We all have struggles, don't we? There are parts of us that we wish we could just hide away forever. I know for years I tried to do exactly that. I had emotions, wounds, and pain I kept buried deep inside. I thought that if I could just cover them up, maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't have power over me. But the reality is, the more I hid, the more those things controlled me. The truth is, there's something powerful about coming to terms with the pain in our lives. It can be a hard journey, but it's necessary. Many of us, including me, have spent too long pretending everything is fine on the outside while carrying a heavy burden on the inside. It's not easy to admit, but we're all hurting in some way. But here's the thing, healing doesn't start until we stop hiding. We can't fix what we don't face. For a long time, I didn't want anyone to see my brokenness. I feared that if people knew my struggles, they would look at me differently, maybe even see me as weak or less than. The idea of exposing my emotions felt like I was opening myself up to a world of judgment, of more pain, or even more shame. Maybe you felt that too, the fear of others knowing what's really going on inside. But I realized something along the way. Holding on to that fear of being vulnerable wasn't making me stronger. It was keeping me stuck in the same cycle, unable to grow. And it wasn't just hurting me, it was holding me back from the freedom God intended for me. God has been showing me that the darkness we hide in isn't where we're supposed to stay. It's not a safe place, and it doesn't bring the healing we need. When we keep our struggles in the dark, they continue to control us. But when we step into God's light, we take away the power that darkness has over us. The truth is, hiding our pain doesn't heal it. It just makes it fester. As I began to understand this, it was still hard to let go of that fear of exposure. But slowly, I realized that stepping into the light didn't mean I was weak or broken. It meant I was brave enough to allow God to heal me. And that's where the real freedom begins. When we talk about God's light, we're talking about His presence, His love, and His grace that shine through even the darkest of moments. It's easy to think that light is just about being happy or carefree. But God's light is deeper than that. It's about transformation. It's about bringing what's broken and healing it. It's about bringing what's hidden into the open so that God can redeem it and make us whole again. You see, when Jesus came into this world, He came to be the light that dispels the darkness. In John 12, verse 46, Jesus said, "I have come into the world as a light, so that no one who believes in me should stay in darkness." His purpose was not just to bring light to the good and perfect parts of us, but to the parts that are hurting, struggling, and broken. Those parts are just as important to Him, and He wants to shine His light there too. Stepping into the light can be a scary thing. It's about being honest with ourselves, with others, and with God, about our struggles, our pain, and the things we've been carrying for far too long. But when we do this, we're not stepping into a place of judgment or condemnation. Instead, we're stepping into a place of healing and grace. I think we often confuse vulnerability with weakness. But vulnerability isn't about being weak. It's about being strong enough to admit that we need help. It's about being open enough to allow God to work in our lives. And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful than experiencing the love and healing power of God when we allow Him access to our heart. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is this: healing begins when we stop pretending. We have to be honest with ourselves about where we are. We can't keep pretending that everything is okay when it's not. I've learned that being real with God, letting Him into the places of hurt and shame, is the beginning of transformation. God doesn't expect us to be perfect. He knows our struggles, and He loves us right in the middle of them. But what He desires is that we bring our brokenness to Him. He wants us to step into the light so He can do what only He can do: heal us, restore us, and make us whole. I believe today is the day for us to choose freedom. It's time to stop hiding. It's time to stop letting shame control us. God is waiting for us to come to Him, to step out of the darkness and into His marvelous light. We don't have to do it alone. We don't have to be perfect. All we have to do is be willing. So today I want to challenge you to make the decision to step into the light. Allow God to shine His light into the deepest parts of your heart. Let His healing power fill you and set you free from the chains of shame and fear. You don't have to be afraid of the light. It's there to heal you, to make you whole, and to bring you peace. I want to leave you with this reminder. Healing doesn't happen in the dark. It happens when we step into the light and allow God to do His work. Jesus came to set us free, and that freedom begins when we stop hiding. No matter how dark the place you're in feels right now, His light is stronger. It's waiting to shine on you, to heal you, and to set you free. Let's take that step together today. Let's walk into His light, knowing that we are not alone and that freedom is within reach. Be blessed.